Curious about what this week has in store for us? Well, let's have a chat about it. Shalom, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to another weekly oracle reading for the week of July 26th. Hoping everyone is doing well and that you're surviving all of this crazy heat that we got going on. Well, let's call in all the archangels, ascended masters, highest guides, creature teachers, light beings, elementals, loved ones in spirit. Come on into this space to give us the clarity and guidance that we need to really understand, to understand our purpose and our place this week and what we need to really focus on for our highest and best. So this week we are pulling from the Osho Zen Tarot. Let's see what they have in store for us. So drum roll, please. Oh, I love it. Beyond Illusion, number 20. So in the traditional tarot, this is the Judgment card. Beyond Illusion really is letting everybody know this week that it's important for you to understand and recognize that what you're being shown, what you're being told, what you're seeing with your 3D eyes, that yes, there is some truth to it. Yes, you're seeing something, but there's something behind that, something more, something bigger underneath. Think iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is what is visible. It's what's underneath of it that is the substance and the foundation for that iceberg. And that's what I'm feeling is the message for us this week, is paying attention to not what is being said as much as what is being, what is being felt, what is being received on an energetic level. Not so much, I don't feel this week it's about dishonesty necessarily, or somebody that is being, purposely deceitful. What I feel is a lot of inauthenticity that you may run into this week. And recognizing that when you run into inauthenticity, not to judge it, not to look at it and say, oh, tisk tisk, to look at it and say, wow, I can see that person's wound. That person's being inauthentic right now because they're afraid. That person's being inauthentic right now because they're insecure, because they're worried that someone is going to see through them. The phrase imposter syndrome keeps coming up for me this week. I'm feeling like that's what this is, that you want to observe when you're running into this situation with people and you can tell that something's not quite right. There's a little something off. You can feel it. You can see it. Don't deny it. Don't doubt it. See it for what it is, take it for what it is, and then look beyond the illusion. Because what's beyond the illusion is at the core of why this individual is showing up in this way. And when you have that information, then you can step into a place of compassion, a place of understanding. I encourage you this week when you run into this, and each of us is going to run into this week. When you run into it, ask yourself, you know what? When have I done the same thing? Or when have I been in that situation where I felt that energy? I felt like I needed to tell the big fish story because the real story didn't feel important enough, significant enough. What was happening to me didn't feel like I could, or that it was going to be honored. It felt small, or it felt insignificant, or I shouldn't have felt this way. I shouldn't have felt, this upset about this little thing. No, honor it, and see beyond the illusion. This will allow you to have more compassion, and also it heightens and I want to say enhances and gives you the opportunity to practice your spidey senses. Because your spidey senses, your intuition is coming through and saying, wait a second, I'm not seeing the whole picture here. There's something more to what's going on here than just what it is that I'm seeing. And then it gives you that opportunity as well to be in non-judgment, to just be in observance mode, and to be able to say, okay, I recognize what's beyond the illusion. Now I have the option as to whether or not I want to make this choice and step forward. Do I want to honor this person and pretend like I believe them and they're there? Do I want to honor them and call them out on what I see and say instead, you know what, I see you and it's okay. How can I help you? You know, you are worth something. You're worthwhile. And I see your value. I know your value. Let me help you through this situation so that you don't necessarily have to feel so inauthentic or feel awkward or feel like you don't matter and that you're insignificant. It gives you options. It gives you options. Will you honor the call? Will you take on the opportunity to rise to the challenge, to rise to the occasion? And by the way, in this example that I'm giving, obviously not everyone's going to have this example, but in this example that I'm giving, there's no right or wrong. You know, sometimes you can see through a person and it's the kinder, loving, more loving, gentler way to not acknowledge, not call out, and to just allow that person, hold space for that person to be in whatever it is that they're showing up as in that moment. And knowing in your mind, yeah, I see that this person is struggling. I see that this person has issue. And so I'm not going to compound that issue by calling it out. Other times, or maybe I'll choose a time later to call it out. Other times it is more honoring to bring it up and to say, you know what? I know that you're worth so much more. Why are you settling? You know, why are you settling for something less? Why are you, poo-pooing yourself? Why are you negating what you have to offer? So there's a lot of opportunity here for, I want to say, for encouragement as well. And that can be on an energetic level I want to say a spiritual level, as well as on a physical level. So you can choose to speak it out loud or you can choose to send it from your heart. Whatever you feel drawn to do. It's all about paying attention to what's being shown to you that is beyond the illusion. All right, we are pulling an oracle deck today from Sacred Rebels. This is the Sacred Rebels oracle deck from Alana Fairchild. And obviously one of my favorite decks. I pull from this quite a bit. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. So both of our cards have the word beyond, folks. This is beyond the mind, the heart beats. And what's interesting is beyond illusion is 20, and beyond the mind, the heart beats is 21. So I do feel that there's a sequence happening here, and the Dream Team is giving us that, hey, see beyond the illusion, make your choices, and then this is what's going to come next. And when I'm looking at this card, beyond the mind, the heart beats, this card is really talking about getting past the monkey mind, getting past the illusion of what our thoughts tell us we're supposed to be, what our thoughts tell us is supposed to exist, what things are supposed to look like. And it says, you know, beyond the mind, there is something more than the mind. There's definitely something more than the monkey mind. There's the heart. The heart beats, and the heart beats without having to really think about it. The heart beats because that's what it does. The heart wants to express itself in such powerful ways, and it does it because that's what it does. That's who it is. You are your heart. You are your heart space. Yes, you are your mind, but you are your heart as well. And you have the ability, you have the choice too. You have the choice to be able to say, I'm going to let my heart rule, or I'm going to let my head rule. This choice, this decision, this moment, this experience. So what are you going to choose? Beyond the mind, the heart beats. The heart has something to tell you. And this week, I feel like it's really important to pay attention to the heart. On this card, first of all, there's so many feathers. I love the feathers. So many beautiful purple feathers, and in her hair is a nest of these beautiful blue eggs. Very much cosmic egg energy. So I feel like this week it's also an indication that something wants to be birthed through our hearts. And we aren't going to be able to birth through our hearts if we are so caught up in the head. We have to put the head aside in order to be able to connect to the heart space. And then I'm noticing in this card that there are DNA strands. So she's got, sort of this beautiful strand of pearls that's around her neck. Some of the pearls are breaking off and joining the galaxy, joining the sun. But then you've also got this beautiful DNA strand. And I feel like that's really important as well, because when we talk about, hoobity floob metaphysical, there's a school of thought out there that the DNA Our DNA contains all, it's like our Akashic records. It's the library of all of our lives. It contains all of the memory. The cells contain all of the memory of the lifetimes we've lived, the lives that we've lived. Lifetimes, lives, pick or choose, whichever one works for you. What we've lived, how we've lived it, who we have lived. And I feel like this card is a reminder of we are all of these things. And so to access that, you can't really access the DNA all that much or solely through the mind. You've got to access it through the heart space, connecting to the heart. You know, the DNA is in the cells. Well, where do the cells reside? The cells reside in our blood, you know, in our body, in our tissues, and the blood is what keeps that going. Well, what circulates the blood? The heart. The heart is the heart of the body. The heart is the heart of the universe that is our body. So getting to the heart of the matter is going to really help you when you're able to see beyond the illusion and recognize, also I'm hearing that we're all in this together. And so let's work together. Let's access that memory. Let's recognize that we have to access that in order to allow something to be birthed through our hearts. And a lot of times that is compassion. And a lot of times that is just recognition of this amazing, wild, wacky, wonderful, wild ride called life that we are on. 21, the energy, and when you add it together, it's a 3, the energy of creation. So what are you creating this week through your heart space? What are you releasing in terms of the illusion in order to be able to step truthfully, fully, and most authentically into that heart space and allow that to come to life? Because you are birthing something. And it's beautiful because those eggs, just take a look at those eggs again. What a gorgeous color for those eggs. It's almost like, I want to say like an indigo color. So of course, third eye, right? Third eye, that spidey senses, intuition, access to esoteric wisdom and knowledge, which is the DNA, and the vision for our lives, what we have for our lives. All right, pulling a feather from the feather jar today. God, I gotta tell you, I'm starting to do this more, and I swore that would never happen. I had my eyes lasered years ago. I think I was maybe 31 or 32 when I got my eyes lasered, and of course they give you the, the whole, just so you know, signing off that you are going to, have some loss of vision just as natural as you, increase in age is how I'm gonna put that. I was like, yeah, that's never gonna happen to me. Anyway, back to business. The feather is karmic energy, and it's on a gorgeous blue feather, and I feel like the blue is our theme for the week. So throat chakra, also again, indigo, third eye. So finding our truths, speaking our truths, learning to communicate our truths creatively. And then of course the third eye, which I just went through. So a lot of what's happening this week, I feel, especially in relation to individuals you're going to be connecting with where you're going to see their wound, it's karmic energy being released. And for those of you who watch me on a regular basis, you know that I don't see karma as a sort of I want to say in the traditional manner that it's thought about. And I actually believe that, sort of in this fifth dimensional energy that we are in or moving into, however you want to look at that, karma doesn't exist. It's antiquated. It's null and void. It's moot. There's no place for it. So I feel like what you're going to be running into this week with the individuals is recognizing old energy karma that needs to be shifted, needs to be directed somewhere else, or just that you're simply observing it in another individual and recognizing, oh, yeah, I was there once too. And gosh, look at how far I've come. And what can I do to be compassionate in this situation with this individual? Because I know what that's like. I know what that feels like. I know how scary that can be, or how stifling that can be, or how entrapping that can be. So paying attention to how karmic energy is moving or wanting to move through a situation so that it can be transmuted. All right, guys, that's our reading for the week. As always, click that bell on the YouTube channel, subscribe. I'm putting up stuff all the time. Would love to connect with you in this way. I have my Facebook page and my Insta, The Black Feather Intuitive, my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. I have an amazing service called Guidance on the Go. It is a single email question. So this is perfect for anyone who either is maybe never had a reading before, or you're too busy to sign up for a full reading and you've got something going on and you just want a quick little touch up about something, just a quick little tune in. Maybe you've got something that you need a little validation or confirmation about. You're kind of like, okay, I have my spidey senses going on, but I'm really not sure. My ego voice is getting in the way and I'm having a hard time getting clarity. I just could use someone else sort of validating where I'm at. This is a great opportunity for that as well. It's a single email service. So once you book it and you send me your question, I will answer that question via email within 24 hours. I do, on a kind of a personal level, try to honor that same day so that you get the result same day. Sometimes that doesn't always happen, but I do answer it within 24 hours of receipt of your question. So would love to be of service to you in that way or any other way that you see fit. Have the most amazing week, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.